Metal, the bane of druidic existence. Or is it? Yes, it is. But also isn't. Quite perplexing. No, but the deal was that in the past, druids were explicitly forbidden from using or brandishing any kind of metal equipment. No weapons, no shields, no armors. They might not even be able to use utensils with the spaghetti and a meatball. If it has metal, they couldn't use it. I know that much. One could argue this also has a practical use, since if you turn into a bear or a large dog, you have a chest plate on, and it would probably crush your windpipe and your collar and suffocate you. But some games are cringe, and your clothing just melts into your character's body, and now in 5th edition D&D, druidic metal restrictions are more of a suggestion, since you can use metal weapons now, so what do I know? Everything. I know everything. My brain is massive and extremely wrinkled and wet. Druids, historically, were typically forbidden from using metals because of metal's implied industrial background, conflicting with the druidic return-to-monkey environmentalist motives. Metal was also bad because druids work with a lot of fae, maybe even get some of their powers from them, and processed metals are noxious to fae. So there's your second reason. Granted, meteorite metal might be an exception because it can be bent and shaped into simple tool heads without making an Amazon account. Gold, in alluvial or otherwise large natural pure surface deposits, can also be soft enough to work in its unpasteurized form. Just some food for thought if you want to be a real stickler about all this. From this point onward is my personal deal with the matter. Druids occupy a strange space between warlocks and clerics in my head. The idea is a druid is someone who swears an oath to serve, protect, and live the interests of one of the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and wood. The element then dwells within the druid, bestowing upon them supernatural power over their element, so long as the druid remains true to their word and their oath. The meaningful difference being, my druids only serve and have access to that one element they've sided with. They're beheld to that single element's agenda. The list of spells will reflect that, so while they can outwardly appear environmentally, they can actually be quite biased under scrutiny. Spaghetti, what about wild shape? It is vitally important that my character be able to have an animal penis, but not be an animal. Do you understand? That's a completely different kind of druid. Animal druids are entirely their own thing. Different video. Back on subject, metal. Big reveal. I reason 2 kinds of druids do get access to metal. Fire druids have access to metal because their element is the transformative force that shapes and refines metal in the first place. Fire druids get the full benefit of man's red flower, and that includes the fruit. Earth druids have access to not just metals, but all the wealth of the underworld, precious gems, obsidian, and crystals alike. The caveat, however, is that they have to have them dry and without any milk, with earthen druidic metals either grown organically into form or roughly beaten into shape. Water and wood druids are the classic druid you have in your head, deprived of any kind of metallurgy and forbidden from taking part in benefiting from most every product or implement of industry. Water and wood druids need to make do with the wide stock of materials naturally available from the beasts, plants, and monsters that dwell or cohabitate within their elements. The air druid is easily the most deprived out of all 5 druids, as they're, ideally, supposed to refrain from not just the luxury of metal goods, but most animal products as well. They must remain aloof and untethered by the riches of the earth. Though, while air is the most ascetic of the elements, it also allows you to control the weather, ride on a cloud, and throw lightning bolts, so for some the inconvenience is worth it. Now I want it on the record that my air druids are not entirely an Avatar The Last Airbender ripoff. Air druids can still eat dairy products, and are the druids that actually get to eat the largest portion of their ritual animal sacrifices, since the elemental air gods only sup on the pleasing odors. Fire druids have to reduce their offerings to ash. Earth druids must bury their sacrifices. Water druids dump whatever they sacrifice into a body of water. And wood druids need to entomb and feed their sacrifices to the roots of a tree. And the elemental spirits and gods aren't kidding around either. If they send you a pristine white bull to slaughter, you had better damn well sacrifice it, lest it have unprotected sex with your wife. Anyway, I digress. There's some exceptions for druids and metals, and a little lore. Have fun.